It's extremely important. 55, how many volunteers?
Traveling to India will just give me a whole new perspective. You know, you can learn a lot from the classroom and in the community, but this is just a whole other world. It's like traveling to another planet.
Making the Difference Focus program has been a program that I've been dreaming up for quite some time, and I'm very excited to have had the opportunity to work with the students through it this semester. It's really all about trying to see how students can understand how they can build a community and how they have a prominent role in their own community, either local or global. So one of the credits, this is a 4-credit program, is co-op, and so the students actually get an opportunity to go out into their local community and realize that there's lots of non-government organizations right in their own backyard. There's lots of charities that they can help out with, and many students realize this through United Way initiatives that we do in the Kingston community, but it's really nice to actually have them go out and see them firsthand and be able to volunteer firsthand there. There's actually 80 hours that they need to have for their hours, and then 30 hours on top of that is in class. And so the other 40 hours they'll be doing a global co-op credit in India.
Basically what we're trying to do is work on different aspects and issues within our local community and also within the world. That's why we're going to India. And we're just trying to do little things to target some of these small issues that end up making kind of a bigger difference. So what we've been doing is a lot of action projects and just a lot of stuff like that. And of course we're going to India to work with SOPAR, which is an organization that it's an NGO, and it works with people in India to provide what they need. And so we're going to be working closely with them in India. And here, of course, we did our co-ops to work with local charities here.
Can I write on there absent? So sorry, I didn't, trying to get in here and get stuff started.
So we all had to go to a co-op, and then we get half the co-op in India and half of it here. So I went to Bayridge, which is a local charity that raises money to give nets to people in Uganda to protect them from malaria. So that was really fun. I do a lot of like paperwork and stuff like that to help out. So when people give receipts and things like that, I bring them to the bank and do stuff like that. So it's fun, and I get to learn about the charity. So that was interesting too. Usually I'm a student at KCVI, but for the semester I'm at Bayridge Secondary School for the Focus program. I'm doing a co-op at the Bayridge Public School just across the field in a special needs classroom, and that's just something that's really interested me, and I've spent time in similar classrooms at KCVI, and it's something I'd like to do in the future. So it's just been a really great experience to have that experience before I go into school, and just have that experience under my belt. It's been really interesting, and I've really enjoyed it.
I went to Sandy Pines Wildlife Center, which is a wildlife refuge in Napanee. It's on Highway 2. And it was really wonderful. It was a really great experience because I want to be a vet eventually and kind of do things like that where I work with communities to help, and do parts with CETA where I work to help empower people and to help them take proper care of their animals and cattle and stuff. So it was a really active co-op, and I quite enjoyed it, and I got to work closely with a lot of the animals there. There's this kestrel falcon that has been there. It was rescued from a zoo, and it's been there for its entire life. Its name's Baby, and every time you go in to feed her, she flies in and sits on your head, and that was really nice because she's very cute.
Well, dealing with curriculum specifically, they're actually going to India in order to look at service projects that are already there in India. So no, we're not going to be building a school, and we're not going to be building a water well. We are actually going to be learning about the programs that are already in place. We're going to see a water well that Bayridge has fundraised for, and that the Making a Difference Focus program has started fundraising for in India. We will see the different women empowerment programs, an orphan program. We'll go and visit a school, but we'll actually see how Bala Vikasa, which is the NGO that's working with us, how they initiate the whole idea of helping people help themselves, and our students will learn that through that organization.
So we're we're leaving on the 1st and coming back on the 21st. So we arrive in Delhi, and then we're just going to be touring around, seeing markets and things like that. And then in the 2nd week we're going to SOPAR, which is a local organization which communicates with villages and rural communities and sees what they need, what they are in need of. So then the people in Canada, like Miss Scarlett has raised money to build wells for those communities in the past. So I don't know, I think that's a really interesting organization because they don't just give communities things, they see what they need, give them the money, and then the community builds it themselves. So yeah, because their motto is helping people help themselves, so I think that's a really cool motto.
Traveling to India will just give me a whole new perspective. You know, you can learn a lot from the classroom and in the community, but this is just a whole other world. It's like traveling to another planet, and it will just give us perspective on our everyday life and how best we can help people again, and how insignificant some of our issues are, and how insignificant just things we worry about every day, and just put everything into perspective. And it just seems like such a great opportunity, so it'll be good.
I think just when we go to India, it's going to be a real eye-opener to see the way other people live, because we live so privileged, and we have so many things, but we seem to never be fully fulfilled. And I think that by going to India, we'll be able to see what it is to live on such little resources and still make a life for yourself. So I'm really expecting to kind of just learn a lot about the way our life is so sheltered and privileged here, and just kind of learn a lot about how I should change my ways, and maybe less of a consumer and more just helping people and living more simply.
I'm just looking forward to seeing the way of life, the culture, that kind of thing, because it's one thing to see it in pictures, but it's another thing to see it in real life, and then come back home. And I think it's going to be really hard to come home and then like see how little things that seem like such big problems here, like wanting an iPhone or whatever, it'll just seem like such a silly thing. So it's going to be really broaden my perspective on life.
A ruler.
She is.
So if you ever listen to me, you can find those things. I
In 2008, when I was there, one of the things I was thinking about is it's a shame that students don't get an opportunity to see this. It's a shame that they just get to see pictures and they get to live through the experience through a teacher that's done it before, or a volunteer, or to see a presentation. I think what I can't wait to see is to see their eyes, to see how they start to realize what life's all about, and there's so much more to it. The richness of life is not about money, the richness of life is building communities, and I'm really excited to see how the students just get to experience all that.
Now I have it like this, and I have a bunch of these, you're going to clip it on the right, because we're going to be drilling and then threading.
Hi, I'm Gabby from the Canadian Mental Health Association. You're watching K-Town Source at TVCOGECO. One more time.
Okay.